Last time I was here, we talked about the 16-0 Patriots. How'd that work out for you?
So we
Okay.
have to
Well,
deflect.
I'm just saying.
Wait, the last time you were here, you all but guaranteed that my Cowboys would lose at your 49ers.
I didn't
Remember that?
all but guarantee.
You all but guaranteed.
But I said
it was a done
very
deal.
good possibility
Yeah,
that could happen.
Yeah, okay.
Am I sold on them? No, I'm not sold on them at this point. And I have been sold on the Cowboys in the past. You know that if I picked them to go to the Super Bowl one year that we were together. And I think at this point it's too hard to be sold on anybody. It's too early in the season for that. And then when you look at the last 3 games the Cowboys played, they're combined, 4-11, those opponents. And I know they're running the ball well, but you look at Green Bay coming up, you look at Philadelphia coming up, those are 2 top 5 defenses. So we're gonna learn about the Cowboys over those 2 weeks. I think the last 3 weeks, it's been really positive what they've done in terms of being sold. I'm
So
not there.
would you project then, would you go so far as to say that after Green Bay and Philadelphia, we will learn that my Cowboys were overrated?
I think we're going to learn what the Cowboys are. Now, we'll have to see the effect that Tony Romo has when he comes back.
Aha. So
But-
you're suggesting he will come back and he will play?
Yeah, I think he will come back and he will play, and he should come back and he should play.
Because?
Because, look, Dak's done a nice job. He's thrown, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's been very efficient. People look at Tony Romo and they want to blame him for every problem that the team's had, but his production over the 2 years that he played was impressive. It was like 65 touchdowns to 19 picks. He was efficient. I think that there's this narrative that everything's Tony's fault. I think Tony gives them the best chance to be an explosive offense, but right now they're an efficient offense.
Well, I'm starting to become sold on them because what's happening is that Ezekiel Elliott is running the football so effectively. Dak is throwing the football when he wants to, not when he have to. I want to see a defense, if they're capable of putting him in a situation where they take Elliott away and they force Dak to throw. We're going to dictate when you throw the football instead of you dictating to us when you throw the football. Because they're so effective on early downs, Coach, they're getting into 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. When you get to 3rd and 3 and 4, now you really determine we can run the football, we can throw the football. You get 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 or more, you're not running the football unless you're backed up. You don't want to take a chance. But even if you have a good quarterback, you have a Brady, you don't care what the situation is. You don't care where you are on the field. You're going to throw the football because you have that kind of confidence in him. But with Dak Prescott, he is a rookie. And I will grant you this, Coach. Tony Romo does provide more big play opportunities for the offense, but he also provides more opportunities for the defense.
He does.
Because he will put the ball in harm's way. We know that about Tony Romo. And I'm a firm believer, all turnovers are not equal. When you commit them and where you commit them at determines how much damage the turnover will eventually do to you. And so I would not, if the Cowboys go to Green Bay and they win this game, Tony Romo's not going to see the field. He can play again. He might play again, but unless something unforeseen happens to Dak, he's not playing for the Cowboys again this year.
But Jerry said he's coming back, and Jerry's the GM and the owner.
And the coach.
And he is coming back. If he says that, then...
I mean, Jerry's been known to change his opinion on things at a moment's notice. Yep. And if they go win at Green Bay, I think it's going to be very difficult after a bye week to say, let's change the whole flow of the team, the whole chemistry. Let's reinsert Tony Romo.
It's hard to recapture what you got going.
Well, if Garoppolo had continued to play and New England had gone undefeated to that time...
But wait a second.
Come on, Coach. Come on now.
Wait. Well, Tony Romo's not Tom Brady, though.
Okay, I understand that. I
you of all
appreciate that.
people know that.
But I do think that Tony Romo is underrated for what he's done. And when you look at his past 2 years where he's played a significant amount of time, his numbers compare favorably to anybody.
Repeat what you just said. The last 2 years when he's done what?
When he's played consistently.
Hold on. Before significantly, what did you put in before that? Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I can't count on.
Well, and I get that too. And it's nice that they have Dak Prescott to come in when if Tony falters.
Okay. Before I respond to my friend Coach Mangini's initial salvo that he...
You have a lot of notes there.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
the quick shot that you took at me on the question that we had 2 weeks ago, is it too early to start talking about the Patriots going 16-0?
And it wasn't for you.
Okay, and what did I tell you? I said, if with their third string quarterback they can get by Buffalo, which I wasn't sure they could do, and I said so on the air.
Right.
I said, this is going to be the toughest game they play because of Jacoby Brissett. And here came a hot Rex Ryan team that had found itself on defense, dismantled Carson Palmer and the Arizona Cardinals up in Buffalo the week before. And I said, this will be tough. But if they manage to steal this game and get to 4-0, I said it's not too early to talk about going 16-0 once Brady came back. And he came back with a vengeance, I thought, in Cleveland, right?
Yeah, I guess when we were talking, I never felt that you were saying they had to steal the game from Buffalo.
Well, how are they going to win with the third-string quarterback against Rex's
like
defense?
they did the week before against the Texans.
It felt a little bit more like you're
that was
saying
Brock Osweiler.
once they get through with Buffalo, then they'll...
I was not saying that. So now back to the issue at hand. I am very happy that my friend Eric Mangini is not sold on my Dallas Cowboys. It makes me happy. It actually makes me have more faith in my Dallas Cowboys because I knew you weren't going to be sold on them. Because last week, everybody was saying, this is the test. Cincinnati's coming. Do you have any respect for Cincinnati? I'm going to assume that you do.
Yeah, I do
Right?
have respect.
And
for
all I heard last week, especially from my partner across the table, this front seven of Cincinnati's is all men. This is going to be hard to run against to the point they will take Ezekiel Elliott away. And I couldn't disagree. I said, you know what? You're probably right. Dak's going to have to win this game. Dak was really good in the game, but to start off with, this offensive line bullied that front. It blew it off the ball. I don't even know that Geno Atkins played because he didn't register in the defensive stats, but Shannon and I know that he played because we saw his jersey number flash occasionally, just not on the stat sheet. Well, that's as impressive a dominating offensive line performance against a rock-solid front seven as you'll see in the NFL. Just blew him off the ball. And Ezekiel is becoming, I think he's becoming the best back in football. All things, power, speed, freshness, rookie legs. And Dak Prescott hasn't been just good. I got to say, he's been great. And I'm not 20/20 hindsight. I called it as we went into the first week of the season. I said, I saw things from him in the preseason I have never seen from a rookie quarterback in preseason games. And Shannon correctly said, it's the preseason. And I said, I know. But there's something special about the way this kid is handling himself on and off the field. He's taken over the locker room. He's the new leader of the franchise. I get it. They haven't really played anybody of note. This will be his most significant test against Aaron Rodgers, Lambeau Field. I get that. I get that the Eagles might even be a tougher test. But he keeps standing up to test after test. I saw him at Seattle in Game 3, dress rehearsal preseason game. And they came after this kid, because remember, Romo was gone after 3 plays. And for the next 3 quarters, Dak had to stand in against Seattle blitz after blitz after blitz. He took it right in the chin, and he kept hitting the hot receiver right in the hands. And I said, you know what? This kid's got it. I don't know. I didn't see this at Mississippi State, and I watched him a lot. But I am seeing nothing but flawless execution. Remember, they lead the NFL in third downs conversions. Is not even close. 50% he's converting. They lead in plays per scoring drive. It's not even close. They're 10 plays per scoring drive. You know, as a defensive coordinator, it's hard for some kid quarterback to keep going 10 plays, 80 yards for drive after drive after scoring drive without making one little mistake. He finally had a little strip fumble in the fourth quarter after they're up 28-0 the other day. First turnover in 5 games. No interceptions in his first 155 passes, 8 short of Tom Brady's career opening record.
And I think the things that he's done has been good and has been positive. And most games in the NFL are lost, they're not won. So he's not losing games.
No.
So that's positive, okay? But when you look at it, he's thrown 4 touchdowns over that time period. And as we look at the early part of the season, there's a perception of what teams are. And Cincinnati may not be the team that we know Cincinnati to be. Just like Carolina doesn't look like they're the team that we've known Carolina to be. Things change. So as we look at these early returns and this team beats that team, we tend to inflate wins, and we tend to be a little over dramatic on losses. So the Rams, the first game of the season, is a good example of that. So it's the next two teams are top 5 defenses against the run and scoring defenses. So we're going to get a good indication of where he is, where that team is.
Okay, I got
And I
it.
think the other thing that you have to look at when you're saying, are you sold on the Dallas Cowboys? The question is, are you sold on the Dallas Cowboys team, not just their offense, not just Dak Prescott?
Thank you.
So we have to look at the whole
Could
group.
I make one quick
Go ahead.
statement about the defense?
You can.
It is now ranked 8th in points allowed. That's pretty great considering where we thought this defense would be. Now DeMarcus Lawrence comes back. I'm not saying he's Lawrence Taylor or the greatest passer or Charles Haley, but he can rush the passer. He is disruptive, and he was disruptive in the little bit that he played the other day coming off a 4-game suspension. And Orlando Scandrick was the best player on that defense 2 years ago, and he's got 2 hamstring pulls, but I think he's going to be back pretty soon. He can play, and he will give their secondary one more weapon as Morris Claiborne rises into 6th pick in the draft status that we haven't seen from him, but we're finally seeing now.
And look, I don't want to take anything away from their defense, but when you have, what were those drives that you said, the long drives? How many were there?
Well, he's averaging 10 plays, 80 yards. That's what
But they had like a 12 and they had like a 14-play drive.
Which means their time of possession is skewed heavily towards the offense, which helps defense.
helps.
And I think that's a good thing. It's complementary football, but we're going to have to see when they're facing Aaron Rodgers and some of those type of situations where it could be a lot higher scoring game, what happens then?
They just keep doing what they do, control the ball. And if you want to call it
They're
dink
first
and
in
dunk.
rushing,
Yeah.
second in time of possession. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. He talking about their scoring defense, the Bears, the Giants, and the Niners. Them together, do they have 100 points? If you add up their 5 games, do they have 150 points total? Those 3 teams? Probably not. Because the Niners are challenge scoring the football. The Bears are challenge scoring the football.
Have the Redskins not won 3 in a row? Did my team not win at Washington? That's pretty good.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you beat the Bears and the Niners. I mean, come on.
Well, the last 3 teams are combined 4-11 at this point, which
I thought you were on my bandwagon, and now you're jumping off because you feel like you got some sidekick here, right?
it's not.
I've
it's
already
not-
said if they could go to Green Bay and take care of Green Bay, I might, blow a little horn.
You know, all year I'm going to keep hearing, now, if they can go here, and if they can go here, and finally I'm going to sit here and say, yeah, but they went to the top of the NFC East all the way through, 12-4.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to those conversations.
There is no doubt they're going to be tested, their whole team, like Eric said. Sunday, Packers, Cowboys, it's on Fox. It's going to be a big one.